Sup friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I make tutorials and guides on how to play the piano by ear, how to improvise, and how to sound a little more like a pro in general. As beginners, we might have a tendency to play it safe, and this reflects itself in our playing, which might be technically correct in terms of the melody and chords, but lacks a wow factor. There are countless ways to inch out of this comfort zone, and in today's video, we'll cover one simple yet effective way of adding more depth to your playing, which is by adding harmony to your melody in your right hand. Once again, for simplicity's sake, this entire video will be in the key of C major, and we'll use Can You Feel the Love Tonight by Elton John as an example throughout. As beginners, this is how our playing might sound. This is how our playing might sound after adding in harmony in our right hand. In this example, I'm simply selecting a few notes and playing a bunch of extra notes together with this selected note. But notice how this seemingly small change can add so much depth to our playing. This is essentially what adding harmony to the melody is all about, and one prerequisite to doing this would just to be comfortable with the melody and chords of whichever song you are playing. Without further ado, let's dive right into the steps of doing this. The first step to adding harmony to your melody would be to select the notes that you want to add harmony to. This has no clear right and wrong and depends largely on how you want your playing to turn out. On one extreme, you can choose to add harmony to every single note in your melody, but it might sound weird in an overwhelming way like this. On another extreme, you might choose to add harmony to say only one or two notes, but it wouldn't add that much depth to your playing. As such, I recommend that we write down the melody first, then select the notes that we consider stronger, such as these notes. As a rule of thumb, for songs that are in the 4/4 time signature, I would consider melody notes that land on the first beat and third beat to be stronger than the rest. Of course, this might vary from song to song, and the best way to find out what works for you would be to actually experiment with this on a piano and figure it out. After selecting which notes we want to add harmony to, we need to actually add the harmony to these notes. For each melody note, we can choose to add 1 note, 2 notes, 3 notes, and so on. But for now, let's start with adding one harmony note. To do this, we need to take note of the melody note itself, as well as the chord that the melody note lands together with. Firstly, we need to know that the additional note that we want to add in, also known as the harmony note, will be inside the chord. Secondly, this harmony note should be lower than our melody note, and should thus be on the left side of the melody note on a piano. Thirdly, the harmony note is usually as close to the melody note as possible. In other words, relative to our melody note, the additional harmony note that we wish to add is the closest lower note that is also in the current chord. Let's visualize this with an example. We will use this short melody here, and these are the notes that I have selected to add harmony to. For the first selected melody note A here, the current chord will be a F major chord, which contains F, A, and C. Our job here is to find one additional harmony note to add to our melody in our right hand, and we know that this additional note will be in our F major chord, so it can only be F, A, or C. Next, we know that this harmony note should be lower than our melody note, so we can only choose the F, A, or C notes on the left side of our melody note A here. Lastly, as the harmony note should be as close to our melody note as possible, we thus select F here, which is the closest valid note to our melody note A. As such, when playing the melody note A, we also add in the additional harmony note F in this case. Let's take a look at the next melody note here. The melody note here is a C, while the chord is a C major chord containing C, E, and G. Once again, our harmony note can only be C, E, or G, and must be lower than our melody note C. So we can only select the C, E, or G notes on the left side of our melody note C. We then choose the one that is closest to our melody note, and we end up with G here, which we need to play together at the same time as our melody note C. As of now, here is how our melody in our right hand sounds. Now that we hopefully have a better idea of the basics of adding harmony, I highly encourage you to try this on your existing repertoire of songs if you haven't already. Of course, this video is more of a starter kit, and feel free to explore and experiment with different harmony notes, different numbers of harmony notes, and so on if you feel comfortable enough. Once again, the best way to determine what kind of harmony to include in your right hand would be to actually test it out on the piano rather than overanalyzing here. Thanks for watching, and hopefully this video provided value to you in some way. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.